Hey everyone, welcome back to Good DIY Plans. Today we're going to be rolling up our sleeves for something really cool. It's a DIY fence and gate project that's going to add so much value to your outdoor space. Let's go ahead and dive in and see what makes this project really special. When it comes to fencing, privacy and security are a big deal, right? For this project, we're going to be using the Wild Hog black metal railing panels to strike that perfect balance of keeping your space yours while still feeling open and airy. In terms of style, this isn't just a fence, it's a way to bring a whole new vibe to your yard. Safety is important too, especially if you've got kids or pets. This design gives them a safe space to play while also keeping wildlife where it belongs, out of your garden, out of your yard, but still within sight. And in terms of durability, we're building with something that lasts. These panels can stand up to whatever the weather throws at them. These mesh panels, they're like a picture frame for nature, letting you enjoy the view without losing the sense of safety and style. So if you're ready to add a little DIY magic to your outdoor space, stick around. We're about to get into all the how-tos and the tips of building this fence and gate. All right, let's dive into the tools and materials you're going to need for this project. First, a miter saw for those clean, precise cuts. Also, an impact driver. It's a real time saver for driving screws. You're also going to need a drill along with a countersink drill bit for a neat finish. For the assembly, grab some screws and don't forget the wood glue for extra strength. To ensure our gate stays in perfect shape for a long time, we're going to use an anti-sag gate kit. For the hinges, go with something heavy duty, and a secure lock latch is essential for this gate. To attach our panels, we're going to be using large, galvanized barbed staples, and to top it all off, some post caps for that final touch. And just a heads up, this is a quick list. For a more comprehensive and detailed list of tools and materials you're going to need, plus the full step-by-step instructions, make sure to check out our DIY plan. You're going to find that in the link below. Before we dive into the assembly of the fence, let's talk about the panels for a moment here. The Wild Hog black metal railing panels are 36 by 72 inches. They are built from 6-gauge wire with a 4x4 mesh pattern. It's the specific gauge and mesh size that gives them their superior durability and visibility, perfect for outdoor applications. They come with a triple layer powder coating, making them resilient against weathering. They come pre-finished black, and this color adds a modern edge to our design. They're also DIY friendly, and you can customize them with standard tools. You can fit them into various orientations, horizontal, vertical, or even on stairs. All right, everyone, so let's dive in to see how these panels are actually made. Here we have a representation of the panel that's housed within the 2x4 housing, and then you have the 4x4 posts and then the post caps on top of that. These are the dimensions of the actual panel, so this way you can estimate to see how many you're going to need for your project. So step one, you're going to need two 36-inch and two 72-inch 2x4 pieces secured with 3.5-inch screws, pre-drilled to prevent the wood from splitting. Next, go ahead and add the metal panel. The 72 by 36 inch panel goes directly in there. Secure the panel with the barbed staples using a hammer, and this will go all along the edges here. Next, add two more 72-inch 2x4s. These are going to kind of clamp down the metal panel here, so it shouldn't move around in this case at all. Here, use the 2.5-inch screws so they don't show through to the other end, but on the edges use 3.5-inch screws. And let's go ahead and go to the next step here. So now you're going to add a 75-inch 2x4 right here directly on top. This will be kind of like the cap of this panel. Secure with either 3.5-inch screws or 2.5-inch screws, doesn't matter in this case. Okay, so now we're going to add the posts. So here it shows you need a 60-inch post. This is a 4x4 lumber piece, but depending on what you're doing, you may need a longer or shorter post. So for example, it might need to be longer if you plan on having the fence be a little bit higher off the ground. Or if you just want to make sure that the fence is more secure, so you want more of it in the ground, you may need a shorter one if you're going to be creating this fence to go around like a patio and it's going to be directly connected to like a deck. Or if you're using it for, stairs or to go around a balcony or something like that, you might want it shorter. So in this case, I have it at 60 inches. So secure that 60-inch 4x4 directly to the panel. The way you're going to do that is using 3.5-inch screws. So these are going to be put into the side here with some glue. I also left a little bit of space here. So this is 1 inch. The reason why is because these are going to have post caps. So some post caps go directly onto the 4x4 lumber, kind of like a hat or a cap, and some will just sit on top and are mounted in like a different way. So depending on what you buy, you may need to adjust this. You may need it to be a little bit taller on the end there, more than 1 inch, or a little bit shorter, depending on preference as well. So once you've got that in place, now go ahead and make however many panels you need. So in this case, I have here 6 panels that I'll need, for example, for this project. It might be more, might be less, depending on what you need. Now you're going to create one panel that's slightly different than the others. The only difference here is that you're going to have 2 posts that are going to be secured to both ends now. So both 60-inch identical posts. And you'll see how this ties in just a moment. So here we have a representation of the job site itself. So I'm just going to delete some of these things so it's not as confusing, and then we'll dive into it. So first, you have some of the project panels, right, for the project itself. So however many you need. Then what we're going to do is dig the holes. So this is a representation of what you would do if this was going to go into the dirt. We have some cement bags here, some tools for actually digging up those holes. So the holes would need to be spaced out 78.5 inches. That would be kind of the ideal placement. Now these are going to have to be about a 12-inch diameter hole, about 12 inches deep. Again, if you have very soft soil, they could be deeper, or it could be more shallow, depending on whatever your building codes are in your area as well. So at the bottom of the hole, fill it with some gravel so that the posts have something to stand on, and then you're eventually going to put the posts of the fence in and use cement to cement them into place. So once you have the appropriate amount of holes dug out, you're gonna add your panels. So let's see how that works. So first, you're going to start with your starter panel. So this is the one that has both of the 60-inch 4x4 posts. So put that one in first. I have here just some 2x4s kind of propping it up. You can secure that with some screws if you'd like, just so that it holds it in place. And then once you've got that first one in there, then go ahead and let's see here. Then go ahead and fill up the go ahead and fill up the spaces with the cement. Okay, once you've done that, then you're gonna attach your second one. So the way the second one works is different than the first one. Remember, it doesn't have a post, right? It just has one post here, but not on this area. And it's going to share the post from the starter panel. So you're going to secure it into place and then again, prop it up as well. So you can kind of build out your fence before even pouring any of the concrete if you have things propping it up. And then you can go ahead and pour once you've got everything leveled off and once everything is in place. So this is very simple. So you're just going to continue the same process going to the next panel. So this post is going to be shared by this one now here, so that I've just added. And then how do you turn? simple. So you're just going to do the, you're going to be sharing now this post here. So let me just kind of put it into place so you can visualize it. So it's going to connect to this post now. That's the neighboring post. If you're trying to, split this into multiple kind of areas of the yard or whatever, then you can just add another one here, and now you can continue off going this way and that way. So you can have like a special little section, maybe for like a section for dogs, or for some kind of animals or something like that, while this will be your main yard, for example. So anyways, that's how those are attached. So once you have all of those attached and propped up, go ahead and pour the cement. Once that's cured, you're gonna be able to remove the supporting kind of posts, and then you'll be able to finish up the fence, and we'll take a look to see how that's done in the next step. So this is where we finish up the fence. So what I have here is 2x2 lumber. It's 29 inches, and these are going to be placed right here. There's one, and there's the other one right next to it, and it's holding the metal panel in place, and it's also covering up all of those screw holes that we put in earlier when we attached the fence housing and panel to the 4x4 posts. So go ahead and screw those in, and you're going to do that on both sides. And then, of course, in this step, as you can see, the caps have also been added. So these caps just kind of sit directly on top. Some will come on kind of like a hat, depending on what you're buying and what you're using. So that would be the way that the fence is put together. Now let's go ahead and dive in to see how the gate is put together. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how to install a gate. So as you can see, the gate, it sits between two of these panels that you made in the previous step, and it needs to be appropriately spaced as well so that this gate can fit, and then it needs to have enough room to be able to swing without catching on here as well. So in this case, see, it kind of catches just a little bit. So we're going to talk about how to prevent that from happening so that it's an ideal fit, and so that it swings open and closed perfectly. So first, let's talk about how to actually assemble this little piece, how to assemble the gate. So just like before, you're going to start with two 36-inch 2x4s, and then you're going to need two more 36-inch 2x4s secured by 3.5-inch screws. Now for the panel, since they come 72 by 36 inch, you're going to need to use some cutters to clip out the appropriate size. So you're going to need 36 by 36. That's what you're cutting out here. So once you have your 36 by 36 metal panel, go ahead just like before and put it in to that frame. Again, secure it with the barbed staples just like before. And just like before, we're going to add two more 36-inch 2x4s directly on top here. So it shows that you have to put it in from the side here, but also you're going to need to do the same thing where you're putting it in on top here as well. Let me just put that in here so that it's clear. So maybe not exactly placed here, but something like this. Now these again would be made out of 2.5-inch screws, and these would be your 3.5-inch screws, just so that they don't show through on this end here. Okay, so next step is we're going to add a 39-inch piece on top. Again, it's made out of 2x4 lumber, using 2.5-inch or 3.5-inch screws. It doesn't matter in this point. And then we're going to add 4 of these 29 2x2 lumber pieces, just like we did with the fence panel. So these are added to the sides here, and we're going to do it actually on both sides. The next step doesn't show it, but let's go ahead and put these in on both sides here, just so that it's clear. So they're going to be they're going to be gripping or holding the metal panel in between, just like that from both sides. Okay, now to make sure that this gate stays in good shape over a long period of time, even though it's not a large gate, you can still add a anti-sag gate kit. This can be bought on Amazon, or there's many places that sell it. So you're going to need gate clamps, corner braces, and the turnbuckle in the center to tighten it up. So go ahead and add that if you would like. And now how it actually fits in together. So we have the gate piece here. You're going to need some hinges. So ideally a hinge that would extend further out here. That way it can support more weight, and again the gate was going to be is going to last longer, especially with use. If you have a shorter one, it can sag, it can fall off eventually, but with a longer hinge like that, this is ideal. So this right here is a representation of like a gate latch. So you're just going to secure that with some screws. Let me delete these so it's less confusing. I'm going to delete these and delete these guys. Okay, so this is the gate latch. We're going to install that, and as you can see, there's actually a gap here between the gate and then the post. The reason why we're putting a gap is so that the gate can swing easily. So the space, it needs to at least 3/16 inches away from the post so the gate can swing open without catching. So if we kind of do a little test here to see if it catches. Oops, I mean, it should be the whole gate, but let's just pretend that the whole gate here is being controlled. So it's not going to catch at this point. So 3/16 is a good distance. So that's how the gate is installed into this fence, into the fence themselves. You could do double gate. You could also potentially make a gate out of one of these longer panels without cutting it down to 36 inches. If you are going to do that, if this whole thing was going to be a gate, for example, I would probably add like a wheel here to make sure that it doesn't sag. Definitely use an anti-sag kit, and then definitely have nice long hinges. If you're planning to do like a double swinging one, you know, where you've got one coming here and then there would be another one here, definitely possible to do, but again, it would probably require some additional like little wheels here to make sure that they don't sag and the pressure's not just being put on the hinges where eventually they're going to fail. All right, so as we wrap up this video, let's hop on over to the Etsy shop. Here you're going to find the plan that we discussed today, but also you'll see other design options for this fence as well. So I have 190 items. Let's just type in fence to filter that. So the fence we talked about is right here. It includes the plan for the gate and the fence panels. This is an identical plan, just a different photo shoot. And then I have other options here as well. Some other things you can explore if you're interested in the fence that needs to be taller. I do have a version that is taller here. So it's a deer fence or a tall fence DIY plan. So this one, it utilizes taller panels, and the height of the fence is 61.5 inches from the bottom here to the top here, which is significantly higher if you wanted to keep out larger animals or deer, or if you want to keep larger animals in as well, if you need more security. But it still gives you that nice view because these panels, they don't obstruct nature, you know, from you being able to see nature. So this is a great option if you're interested in a taller fence. Also, I do have other fence options here. We have like an farmhouse styled fence here as well, and one other alternative here as well. All right, thank you everyone for joining me on this DIY journey today. If you felt like this video was valuable to you, give it a thumbs up. It's very encouraging. If you have any questions or any ideas for future projects, drop them in the comments. I enjoy hearing from you. Thank you very much. Have a good day.